The Russian tie is one of the most powerful grips you can use in all grappling. Commonly used in wrestling, you see it a lot there, but also has a strong connection to Aikijutsu or Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, where you get two hands on one wrist or two hands on one arm, and you can do a lot of different takedowns, throws, as well as some breaks. So today, I don't know how many I'm gonna go through, probably at least 10 different flows and different attacks you can use off a 2-on-1 grip, and then chain into some submissions and breaks, a little more on the combative side. All right, let's look what the Russian is. We'll give you two different angles. First, just to show you what we're looking at. Russian's 2-on-1 grip. My bottom hand is a C grip that I'm looking to have a fine motor control so I can push-pull. When you might have if you're a wrestler, you might have learned this in the beginning, having all 5 fingers on. But my buddy Vlad Kulikov out of Sambo Fusion talked a lot about the detail of this, and I thought it was really smart. So having a C grip or a pinch grip around the wrist is important. The other hand, it will be underneath the armpit, and I like to use my thumb as a reference point where I'm almost dividing his delt. My head position will be right in his forehead, so I want to make sure we're getting his spine offline. So this is our initial spot, and from here we're going to open up a lot of different takedowns. How we get there is actually probably the hardest part of the Russian, and how I teach it is going to start using a clear to begin. If I get to clear the collar tie, if I get used to clearing the collar tie, then the Russian shows up fairly naturally. So let's say Leon and I are in a mirrored collar tie position. I'm going to drop, I want this arm, so I'm going to drop that same side, and I get a little flare in my elbow. So drop, flare. And then at the same time, like pinching, so I almost trap Leon's arm, and I think about throwing a left hook. As I throw a left hook, my hand lies in wait and grabs, and there's like this little pocket right here. I then fall in, make my connection, and I make Leon move and get him off balance. Just any type of entry, whether it's like striking entry or a grappling entry, I'm not gonna just grab a grown man's arm and get a hold of him. There has to be some sort of movement, some sort of connection. So once we drop, shrug, catch, I'm falling in, stay nice and sticky. I don't wanna have any space. If I spin Leon, I think about my goal is to fit my delt in the spot. And then my footwork is almost like this kind of stumbling footwork, where I leave my left leg behind. Later when you see me attack for foot sweeps and other things, that'll come on. So one more time, an initial setup. I use a little cue for myself, pinch, shrug, catch, but basically the pinch and the shrug are happening at the same time, and then we just catch that arm and fall in from the other side, pinch, shrug, catch, and you're just falling in to that space. Hey guys, I don't ask for much, but if you could actually subscribe, that would be really awesome. I am trying to put out some awesome, meaty, detailed martial arts videos. I'm hoping to inspire you. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I think it'd be really cool if you did. Hit that button down there, subscribe, like it, I would appreciate it. And comments, I try to respond to every single one of your comments. I take the YouTube community very seriously. So please, let me know what you think. Add a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I will respond to you personally. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank you guys. Oos. Let's use a Russian for one of the best purposes, I think, is to get the back. And if you've been on this channel and you've heard me talk, that getting the back is one of the big tenets of the school and big tenets of tri-tac. Safest spot to be. So off our Russian, I hit my pinch, shrug, catch. Boom, boom. Now, spin you. We're in a spot, and with my movement, I think about I'm going to punch my right hand across, bail on my left hand as I'm come behind, punch my left hand across, and then combine that with my left foot. So it's really simple. You're here, and you just punch and step. Boom. My left hand will start coming to the hip, and then once I extended my right arm, now I'm gonna retract my right hand and right foot together, and I connect to his hip socket. And just as anything we talked before, once I make an entry, I walk him a little bit to make him move. Pinch, shrug, catch, boom, and we snake right to the back. When I've used this one actually probably my favorite ones. Everything's my favorite, but I would say this one is my favorite off the initial S setup. It works really well. You're just kind of continuing the movement to snake into his back, all right? So that's option number one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show a few different back takes. I'm gonna have Cole and Leon work together on those back takes and then add some finishes. So number two, a little fun, a little tricky. Off that Russian, boom. What the thing about this hand is an arm drag. So like a duck under arm drag. I'm gonna pull and snake right around to his back. So once we hit our Russian entry, this hand and my bottom hand work together, and my head is gonna swim underneath. As it swims underneath, I bail, look up and around, and then expose his back again. One more time on that one. Boop, boop. And then snaking right around. So what I like about the Russian is you're gonna get so many different reactions from your opponent, and then not all of them are bad for him, but they lead to a lot of different opportunities for me. Let's bring on Cole and Leon, and I'll have them go through back and forth on some entries that we just did, as well as some finishes. All right, I got my two awesome studs with me, Leon and Cole, and we're gonna have them use that Russian entrance, get to the back, and then we're gonna finish, let them choose how they finish the back. Guys, if you want some back finishes, I just did a whole series called Attack the Back, probably called a couple weeks ago. It has a lot of our finishes from back control, so I highly suggest you watch that to see what finishes they are doing. Good, fold in. Nice and good. Yeah, if you get to a clean finish like a Kote Gaeshi, great, yep. So let's get to the Russian first. I like that. Let's get to the Russian first. So Leon did a good entry, but he went right to the back. So I want him to establish a Russian and then punch. And I'm gonna pause him right there, okay? And pause, that's good. How you use Cole so he can see an example. We have to be very aware of our head position. I probably should have said this earlier, that if I shrug and keep my head away from Cole, Cole was instantly gonna win this head position battle. And you can see whose spine is really offline now. Cole's that's starting to drive into me. If he gets his other hand in front of my face, or pushes my head away, or squares on my shoulder, it can start creating some problems for me. He can get out of my Russian. So when we hit our Russian, one of the most important things I think about is like falling in. And it's almost like I'm trying to headbutt him, not really. I can't headbutt somebody in a grappling match, or if you're working with your buddy, but that's the feeling when I do hit this. It's one of that falling in and like crashing that line with my head makes it work. So when you're doing it this time, think about once you clear into that, get that rush, think about kind of crashing in and then going to the back. There you go, forehead to chin. That's better. Good. Nice. Boom. Hit your roll. Beautiful. Very nice, very nice. Oh, good Tai Toshi. Boom, boom. Good entry, much better entry. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Beautiful, beautiful, good job. Yeah, guys, if you were like working to drill this with a buddy or a training partner, I think one of the best things that we do here is we let them play. I give them a set of entrances, get them a set of finishes, and let them go back, forth, back, forth. There are no mistakes. You're just trying to make it work. One of the best lessons I think I learned from Shion Russ St. Hilaire and Kobukai Jiu-Jitsu was this type of philosophy, is that nothing is ever gonna be pretty. If we focus on trying to be pretty and perfect all the time, that it's never gonna work for you. When you're learning the initial technique, you wanna be, yes, like clean, understand the positions, understand each connection point, but when you're actually fighting, it needs to flow. It just needs to happen. And so drilling like this, where you're not really trying to stop and think, you just let it happen, is I think one of the best ways to really truly develop a technique. Obviously the Russian is a wrestling-based technique, but we're gonna use it to set up some wrestling. And we'll just go very simple, that we're gonna look to set up a double leg as well as a single leg off of it, or single leg then a double leg. And a single leg is a very, very natural occurrence. We're back in that Russian, whoomp, whoomp. As soon as I get him, to spin you a little bit. As soon as I can get him to move, I almost follow the same pattern of I'm gonna go to the back, but I punch his hand across and then drop this hand to his leg. Punch, drop, and then we're gonna pick up. All right, or snatch single. From here, guys, any finish you want, very simple one is I'm gonna run the pipe. And then something we were working on, you can stay right there, big buddy. Big buddy. No. Something we were working on last night, and it goes back to the idea of flowing. Let's say it takes someone down. If I lose connection, if I don't stay sticky, if I don't continue my progression, then most likely he's either gonna get back to his feet or he goes on attack. So let's bring that back up. Offer any takedown, since we're using running the pipe on this particular one. Once I run the pipe, I'm instantly progressing and looking to jam, shut down my opponent's hips. Something we've talked a lot about in classes lately, as well as like the more mobile and agile his hips are down here, easier he is to start going on counterattack. So when we get, well, I don't care if you're an MMA fighter, self-defense, or Jiu-Jitsu, if we put this natural thought of jamming my opponent's hips, shutting it down, getting our body on the inside, just some core tenets, then obviously, we can punch Leon in the face, and we all know how much YouTube loves that. So, one more time in a single leg, pinch, rub, catch, walk, whoop, whoop, pick it up. Maybe I transfer to double leg, now I'm back, jamming to the inside. Speaking of the double leg happens a lot when I start attacking my Russian, and what Leon's gonna wanna do, can you put a Russian on me? It doesn't matter yet. Is I'm in this position, I'm gonna wanna square up and get away. The act of me doing this, see what it does to my hips? It like makes me flat to my opponent. And if Leon hit a level change right now, bam, he's right in a hole. So, let me do it to you now. When we hit this, spin, he starts posting and squaring up. We use a combination of a level change and a raise, boom, to shoot deep into the hole and build either to the back or a double leg. So bring Cole and Leon back on. What I want them to work now is both a combination of a single leg, then other times someone will post, they'll go for the double leg. Same concept, ending in a strong position. They can add a guard pass if they want. As long as they stabilize the person on the ground, I'm happy. Boom. Good. Nice. Nice pickup. Good, come around the corner. All right, there you go, better. Whoop, whoop. Good, make it work. Nice flow, excellent. Let's look at two awesome throws off of the Russian, the 2-on-1 grip. We're gonna look at Kata Guruma, or commonly known as a fireman's carry, as well as a drop Ippon Seoi Nage, and they both use a chaining of the grip. Let me show you that grip is. We did a little earlier to get to the back, and then I'll let Leon and Cole go through this. So, same thing. We got our entrance, and now this hand, I'll show you both angles, is a pull, and this hand is gonna go together, all right? So as they go together, I'm gonna get my head through the hole, slide my knee in, and then look to make my entrance for my Kata Guruma or fireman's carry. If I was doing a drop Ippon Seoi Nage, same thing. Now we come through, instead of letting this hand go, or letting this hand go between the knees, we're gonna let it become to the armpit, step, and then hit our drop. Yeah, so Leon hits his pinch shrug catch, and now he glides through, boom, and nice finish. So, very good. We were talking before the camera started about finishing both these things, and it's important we cover the body at the end. If not, we expose ourselves to our opponents get their back. So let's do that one again, Leon. And you'll see what happens with his right hand at the end. Boom, he enters in, slides, right hand will come across and cover to get pull pinned. If he does not do that, he's exposed his back. That's probably where a lot of people mistake or fail at the end of these two techniques, is they just hold on to the arm and then the person is chained to the back. Whoop, nice slide, good. Very good. Now, Ippon Seoi Nage, a little bit harder, and again, we were just talking offline. This is a difficult technique to be successful with in no-gi, or when you do not have the luxury of a stronger grip. Why? Because the person gets your back. You have to chain. The throw works well, but you have to chain that right hand across. If not, you are so susceptible to getting your back taken. Boom. Covers, very nice. And then right, so Leon's stepping up with it. It's not, he's doing the right thing, right? He's getting his hips higher than his opponents. Obviously, it's much harder for his person to get to the back that way, but I'd like to see a right hand come across a little better. Right hand, there you go, nice. Very nice, and cover. Boom, boom. Good, very clean, right? You're doing it correctly. Well, only thing I would add is that both of these things, and almost everything we talked about today, the right hand is also involved. It's a big guiding hand. So whether if I'm going for the high C, the Kata Guruma, I'm punching through, and it's like, bam, once my hand kind of reaches the apex of the push, it goes into the grab, right? If I'm gonna go to the drop Ippon, well, I'm coming across, and then it goes. I'm not gonna like, what you kind of doing, you're doing this, letting go, and then going that way. And there's just too much time there. And I have to use that bottom hand to clear it, boom, and there's my connection. Let's take this grip and make it a bit more powerful. And we're gonna connect our hands together into a figure 4 lock. And we're also gonna use what we call the Kenny grip to make it a bit more brutal. So, we're back to our Russian, boom, boom. Now, if I just get my hands together, I've made a really, really strong grip on Leon, and now it gives me an extra layer of control. And there's two major things I like to do. One is a simple drag out. I start dragging his arm to the ground, and it's easy to start chaining to the back. So here, I get my grip, and it could just be this, whoop, and I snake to the back because I have so much control of the arm that I can just yank it out. One more time, whoop, whoop. With my grip, I try to circle and plant. Now, start building to back control. Another option I like the office is a foot sweep. I get them moving. I have that stumble step. I'm waiting to see this foot come through. Let's come over here a little bit. So as I move, I see it come through, whoop, and I drop. And it gives me a nice little layer of control. I let my hands go at the end. Think about you're kind of kicking and pulling. I don't need much. I just need his weight going a little bit this way, and then yank hard on that arm. So let's bring you both back in. So make the we're gonna go that one next. Yeah. Good. We'll spin the other way. Now, in that particular one, it doesn't have to always be a ground-based thing. Like, I can just use a punch and sink to the back. I think that's more applicable, but sometimes you get a good circle and plant, you're able to get their hand on the ground is even better. Boom. Nice, that's it. One more time. Boom. Good. Nice, nice, very slick. Yeah, guys, remember, sometimes we're just using these grips and connections as chain to the next thing. It's like we're slowly progressing around the body. Remember, we're trying to get to the back, and this is another great tool to get to the back. Now, Cole did something interesting that piqued my curiosity. When I was trying to circle out, I was thinking, in my philosophy on this, is that I was trying to pull Leon's body away, create a soft spot here, and try to drag him down. Well, Cole almost used like a Taitoshi, and he was, or Uchimata, excuse me, an Uchimata to get Leon's back. So I was like, fuck, that worked kind of cool, worked really well. So why not? It makes sense. You're here, get a Uchimata kick, boom, and then power bomb him, boom. Don't do that part. That feels kind of clean. You get him moving. It's like you want the foot sweep, but you can't get it. So you kick, punch, boom, and this chaining right in. I'm trying not to bully you, but you do feel that person's just like going right away. So why not throw a couple times? You know what? I think I like that better. I'm changing the whole curriculum. Uchimata kicks from everywhere. Get a shot, Leon. Not bad, not bad. Try to treat it like a little bit, try to treat it like a true Uchimata. Step, boom. You'll feel it. Step, right foot steps, boom. Yeah, see? You know, that's what I love about working with people like this. Is that, you know, in training like this, we get creativity and different things happen, and they teach me more than I teach them sometimes, swear to God. So it's by watching them move, by watching them train, by watching them think instinctually, all of a sudden new shit comes out. So very good job. Let's now add a very cool throw. We call it Yoko Wakare. I know there's another name for it, but it comes off that same grip. And you guys are gonna do this because I'm not gonna do it. So, boom, boom. Now we think about punching our hands, all three together, right to his hip socket. And as we do that, we get our feet together, and then we're gonna sit and spin. Now, the question was last night, why and do we have to punch the hand to the hip? Well, there's two things that happen. One, it's aiding me and keeping him where he is and almost aiding in the roll. Two, because I like Leon, if I take his arm out here and I sit and spin, I better hope he has a very good fall. If not, I'm gonna shred his arm right off. So yes, we can do this by just taking this thing and launching ourselves by shoulder, but because we're good training partners and we're working a technique, we're gonna go to the hand to the hip. Boom. So punch his hands, his hip, sit, feet together and sit and spins. And right on top. And just a quick thought, you're ending in this, reverse Kimura. All right, I'm kind of showing you just from you see camera. This is helping him stay down and where he is. When I want to progress, I cup and I use that same almost movement, like pulling and allowing my hand to come to the other hip. It's one of those things, again, where if you don't transition properly, you're not gonna finish that technique. Does that make sense? So like, when you finish your grip, just chain it and try to pull it a little bit. That's gonna keep them locked in and allow your right hand to come free. So again, Yes. Yeah, nice. Sometimes you clear it all the way out, sometimes it stays right there, but just basically get to the back. Okay, basically keeps him down. Boom, boom, punch, feet together, sit and spin. Yeah, and just sit. So your butt down. Well, he tried to fucking whip your ass, Leon. He gave an extra little slide there. Boom. And it's trying to get your feet to walk. Yeah, you're trying to trip too much, don't worry about that. Okay. It's almost like your feet are here, and you sit your butt down and spiral. I mean, it's not wrong, I guess, what you're doing. Cole's teaching everybody new shit today, but it's a little better, a little better. Not bad, not bad. Before we get into some more breaking aspects of a 2-on-1 grip, let's look at an interesting gripping concept we call the Kenny grip, and some of the techniques we just did work really well off that. So the Kenny grip is we're on the Russian again, but what we're gonna do is instead of getting our hands in a figure 4, we're gonna take our arm that's under his armpit, and I'm gonna punch. I make a fist, and I think about taking the edge of my forearm and putting it in the bend of his elbow. Boom. Now I take my other hand, I lace it on top, and then there's this kind of like this steering. What the feel like is for me is I'm taking the blade of my forearm, digging through the meat of their arm and trying to break their arm like a stick. So here, boom, bang. And it's pain compliance as well as I want to drag him out. It makes it very easy to kind of just push him right down to the ground. Is it a submission? No. Is it a break? No. Will create a reaction that allows you to chain to something else very quickly? Yes. And we have to look at martial arts and pain compliance that way, is that we're going to use different things that make you react, that sets up something else. Like punch you in the face, you're gonna react, I get to do something else after. So to me, this is like we're doing something like this, like a strong punch in the face, boom. I got you to react, and I want to chain off. And one of the cleanest ones is start bringing down to the ground, and then I just keep that hand there and chain to the back. But unique grip, I'll show it one more time so you can see it. You have your Russian, punch, fold. And the common mistake is they'll put this forearm flat to Leon's arm. You want to keep it bending, and you really want to have this like very aggressive forearm, I'm gonna break your arm feel. Cool grip. Let's finally look at two breaks, or two really more nasty side of things when you get out of 2-on-1. Definitely coming from the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu side. And I'm gonna look at two of them. Kote Gaeshi, which is more of a wrist twist, as well as Waki Gatame, which is gonna be more of an elbow. Both of them take sensitivity and time to develop. These are ideas I'm giving you right now. I love YouTubers, especially like those keyboard warriors, love to comment how Aiki does not work. Yeah, if you've never trained Aiki before or never done any of the brutal breaks, yeah, it ain't gonna work for you at all. You need years developing that shit, no bullshit. There's a lot of sensitivity in it. It's a lot of sensitivity in it. But I know a lot of you guys out there are Jiu-Jitsu guys, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, Judo people, a lot of combative-based martial artists out there. So this stuff will apply, but you have to take the time to train it. So first, we'll go back to our Russian, right? But instead of dropping his hand underneath, we're gonna bring it over the top. Now you see it's getting close to Leon's face already. So because I'm talking about combative and breaking, I'm thinking combative, which means I'm gonna hit the fucker first. So this left hand is gonna come over, boom, try to elbow, or I throw a punch. Now my body falls and I have a little trap right here. And then we quickly have to get on top of the arm. All right, so this is the first Waki Gatame feel where I'm going to think about taking Leon's pinky and like his fist and making it perpendicular to the ground as I connect my elbow to the inside of my thigh. Now I should feel like I've locked into place, and I can add a break there. So we're here, boom, grabbing and falling in, and I get a break. This is when someone's grabbing your head. You're in that kind of dirty boxing, dirty combat. You're not fucking grabbing a punch. Oh, okay, I'm gonna do that fucking thing there. I'm like, no. That's not truthful. We're gonna pull it off when it's like, oh shit, I'm on it. And then you're just gonna snap it right there. Oddly enough, I had a Kempo guy trained in my school years ago, Ricky. He's a CO, big dude, but not huge, but he had really strong martial arts skills. And he was pulling us off during rolls sometimes. I would freak out because, man, if he was just a little too aggressive on that thing. Some of his buddy's elbow would have snapped. So just be careful on this one, but when you get it, you're like, oh, that's power. Now we can chain off that to the Kote Gaeshi. So same thing, boom, I'm coming over, I get 2 hands on one, but I feel his elbow bend. So I follow it, and my hands kind of act as like almost a chalice or like a cup. And then here goes Aiki footwork, boom, boom, rotation, drop, and we're in a Kote. So I'll show you from this angle. Right here, I come over and boom. Now I got that 2-on-1. I start walking to draw him out. Now I keep everything tight, and you see my left elbow is folding over his bicep as my hands are coming nice and tight to my chest. And then we retract, stomp, drop, and follow him to the ground. We're here, boom, boom, draw him out, and drop. Boom, boom, finish. Definitely an awesome, it's a cool technique. And I've actually used it in a more controlling self-defense scenarios compared to actually trying to hurt someone, but they're both truly breaks. On the Waki Gatame, I'm gonna have Leon set this one up because he's done a lot of this one. That would slide down and finish. And this is if you're dealing with a bigger opponent or you want to really make this thing extra brutal, you add the sliding finish. So why don't you show me? So same thing, Leon gets on that 2-on-1, boom. And instead of staying there, he does like a baseball slide to his left hip and then finishes right there. So once you clear, right to the slide. Yeah, there you go, good. You probably saw all 3 reps. There's kind of a resounding theme that happened to Cole at the end. Anybody see it? I can't hear your responses, but I'm guessing that some of you realize that Cole's getting a little turned in. They started getting to his back to the mat, starting to face Leon. To what I would have Leon do instead is if we were drawing a kind of a line on a person's body, instead of bringing him out straight, we bring him out that far corner. So when Cole's going down, think about dragging him to like, you know, if you're on a Superman, you're not gonna go to the side, you're gonna go kind of at that Y angle. Does that make sense? So try it again, but try to draw his arm out as a Y. Yeah, that's better, a little better, there you go, that was better. We just try not to let him start to, just anything else, start turning, getting his elbow back online, etc. Yeah, definitely some awesome techniques from Japanese Jiu-Jitsu that are very powerful for actually breaking and will later can apply to dealing with a weapon. Thank you guys, please like, subscribe, all that. I appreciate all that. And that's it. Leon's gonna beat us up with Wing Chun next.